From the Smith Center in Chapel Hill, this is TarHillIllustrated.com. I'm THI staff writer Jacob Turner, and alongside me, as he usually is, THI publisher Andrew Jones. A little bit different of a setup today. We just talked to Roy Williams and 4 of the players. I was going to say starters, but I guess technically we didn't get leaky. So not all 5 starters, excuse me. We talked to 4 players, minus Armando, obviously. But big day in Chapel Hill. Obviously, Carolina taking on Duke this Saturday. A lot of good things came out of today, AJ. We're sitting here on this video, like I mentioned, a little bit different. We're going to break down some of the keys for Carolina when they go over to Cameron Indoor on 6 p.m. on Saturday. Big game, obviously. We know how the first one went down. Carolina on a little bit more of a hot run right now. 3 wins on the bounce right now, so they're feeling a little bit better about themselves. Duke struggling a little bit of late, but they have played a little bit better. Big win over State recently too. So a little bit of a contrast based on how both of these teams entered the last game. But AJ, Carolina, first key to success if they want to get the win on Saturday is they got to take care of the ball. Duke's one of the best teams in the country, forcing turnovers and scoring off of those. So AJ, Carolina going into a hostile environment. A lot of these guys have played there before, but there's a lot of guys that haven't. Got to take care of the ball against the Blue Devils.
Got to take care of the ball because you have to score to win.
Yep.
And if you turn it over, you can't score on that possession.
Nope.
And they turn them into points.
That's how basketball works.
You also got to get good shots because they also block a lot of shots. Duke is averaging almost 15 possessions a game in which they block the opponent's shot or get a steal. So that's 15 fewer opportunities that they directly affect, minimizing shot opportunities for opponents. Carolina's not a very good shooting team. Hadn't been all year. They are right now in this hot stretch, but I don't know if that's going to continue. And one of the reasons they have been shooting well is because they've been getting open looks. Many more open looks in the last few games. And of course, as we joked around the other night, if you're guarding me, I'm going to have a more difficult time scoring than if you're not guarding me. It's going to be a challenge anyway, but even still, that would be the case Saturday night in Cameron Indoor Stadium. So the Tar Heels need to take care of the ball, get shot opportunities instead of losing the thing, especially when they turn into transition points for Duke, which the Blue Devils are excellent at doing. And also the shot block situations. A lot of that's running carry, but Duke can block from the wing as well because they're very long on the wing with Hurd out there and Baker, all those guys. They can affect perimeter shots. The Tar Heels have to protect the ball, take care of it, make good decisions, get open looks, find those spots, knock enough of that stuff down to render that element of Duke's game kind of useless, because that is a huge part of what Duke has done. Because Duke they're not going to overwhelm you possession by possession like they have a lot of times in the past. It has a lot of times in the past.
This Duke team does now.
This is a better defensive team usually. I know there have been some rough spots here lately, but this part of what they do has been an enormous part of fueling them to a 24-6 record, and they're in the hunt still to finish first in the ACC.
Second key to success. We saw it a little bit at the end of the last game. Carolina cannot make it the Cole Anthony versus Trey Jones show. You got to play as a team. They can't let that happen. We saw that, like I mentioned, at the end of the last game. It seemed like for a stretch it was Cole going to the basket on one end, Trey Jones going to the basket on the other. Carolina can't make that this coming game. They can't make that happen in this one. They've got to play more as a team. It's got to be more of a team effort if they wanted to go to Cameron and get a big win ahead of the ACC tournament.
What helped in the first game was that Cole was taking off the ball a lot. Leaky was at the point a lot. And as a result, Carolina, I thought, ran one of the better nights they've had offensively. Just running
smooth,
stuff, being fluid, spacing, movement, recognition, all those kinds of things. And a lot of it, Cole was struggling going in. The BC game and then the Florida State game, he really struggled. And on top right after that was the Duke game. So they found something that worked that night. But he's going to be on the ball a lot more Saturday night because that's now working. He has improved and kind of gelled, as Brandon Robinson and some of the guys are saying. He's kind of understanding now a lot more about what it takes to be the point in this offense, in this system, so to speak. So he'll be on the ball a lot. It's going to be Trey versus Cole in a lot of ways, and maybe whichever guy plays better, his team is going to win. But Cole can't approach it that way. He wants to be an NBA guy sooner rather than later. He's got to have that mentality going into this game that you've got to take care of business. You can't make it 100% about the other guy because then he'll lose sight of his teammates. It'll be the 1+4 instead of the 1 of 5.
Can't have that now.
1 of 5 has worked really well for Cole in the last 3 games. Remember this stat: 72 points on 39 field goal attempts in the last 3 games. That's because he's played 1 of 5. He's also handed out 19 assists. If he continues to play that way, it really enhances Carolina's chances of winning the game. If he makes it about Cole versus Trey, then it diminishes Carolina's chances of winning the game. Trey Jones is a phenomenal player. He's going to have big game no matter what.
Yeah.
Can't worry about that.
No.
Cole has to be 1 of 5 and help his teammates have really big games as well. He's done that the last 3 games. See if he does it Saturday.
Third and final key to success, if I can get that out for Saturday for Carolina, is AJ. We've seen Duke do it so many times in their building. Go on these runs. Carolina this year has not responded to some runs by their opponents very well. Gotten a little bit better at it over recent weeks, hence why they've won 3 in a row. But we've seen those classic Duke runs in Cameron Indoor before. It's going to be tough to straight stop them, but you got to respond to them. You got to weather them a little bit, and you got to put points up. You can't go on their scoring droughts in Cameron and let Duke go on a run, because when you get behind double digits, even a 5-10 point lead in Cameron, it's hard to come back from, especially in a rivalry like this.
I've covered a couple of 100 games at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
It's awesome.
I covered Duke for a long time.
It'll be my first on Saturday. So that tells you
anything. I'm very excited about that
I'm looking forward to it too.
Very thrilled when we were able to get you in there.
Hook me up.
I've covered a couple 100 games there before, and I have seen the body language and the looks on faces of teams that have faced that onslaught that Duke is going to go on at some point. They're going to go on a run where it's not just 5 guys that are part of the run. It's not just the students. It's the building. It's the laundry in the rafters of the building.
Absolutely.
It's everything about being there that swallows teams whole.
Yep.
Carolina is a team that usually withstands that.
Yeah, they do.
Because they're one of the few teams that goes in there that is so supremely confident that they're not affected by it. Yeah, the score is affected, but they aren't affected.
No.
They find a way to fight through it and make it happen. They're going to have to do that Saturday.
For sure.
And that is not something this particular Carolina team has done like previous Carolina teams have. Duke's going to go on a run.
Oh, yeah.
That ball protection thing, it's not always going to happen. Duke's going to get turnovers in your midcourt. They're going to turn it into thunderous dunks by Cassius Stanley and those guys. The place is going to be going crazy. The heels can't lose themselves. They have to stay focused, not get swallowed whole, and fight through those sequences. And if they do, they have a very good chance of coming out at the end of the game and being competitive down the end, having a chance to win. If they don't, that's how you get blown out there. I've seen really good teams go into that place, play well for 17 minutes, and then boom, the last 3 minutes of the first half, Duke goes on a run, swallows that team whole. They come out for shoot around at halftime,
totally
right for the second
team,
half, a completely different looking group than I saw in warm-up before the game. I've seen it so many times I couldn't even count how many times it's been. The Tar Heels cannot be that team Saturday night. If they are, they got no chance of winning. If they aren't that team and they're able to fight through it, they have a much better chance of winning.
AJ, Roy mentioned today, to quote him, he said they're going to have to play a heck of a lot better than they have over the past 3 games. I know they've won 3 games, but they're going to have to play a heck of a lot better if they want to win on Saturday. Big game coming up. Those are our 3 keys onto how Carolina can go in there and get a big win ahead of the ACC tournament next week. I've been Jacob Turner. He's been Andrew Jones. We'll both be in Cameron on Saturday. Really looking forward to that. My first trip, one of many for him. If you had to guess, AJ, how many do you think you've covered in there?
In there? Over 200.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
220, 240, I have no idea.
Awesome.
I know I've covered about 400 Duke games. So.
That's awesome. I can't lie. That's pretty awesome, guys.
It's pretty cool.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you've liked this video, be sure to like the video and share it, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Thanks.